Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt completely drained? Like you're running on empty because you've been pouring into everyone except you? Maybe it's the demands at work, family expectations, or even the pressure to show up for everyone except yourself. If that's you, let me tell you, you're not alone. I've been there too. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be that way. Today we're talking about boundaries, and before you roll your eyes or think, I've heard this before, let me tell you why this matters for you. Setting boundaries isn't just about saying no, it's about reclaiming your energy, protecting your peace, and showing up for yourself the same way you show up for everyone else. By the time we're done, you'll feel empowered to create a life that feels balanced, fulfilling, and peaceful. So if you're ready to stop feeling overextended and start feeling like yourself again, stick with me. This is going to change everything. Hi, I'm Frida, and welcome to my channel where we focus on journaling for self care. Let's start with the basics. What are boundaries really? Think of boundaries as your personal rules for what's okay and what isn't in your life. They're not about shutting people out, instead, they're about letting the right things in. Let me give you an example. Imagine your life is like your beautiful home. You wouldn't leave your front door wide open for anyone to walk in, would you? You lock the door, let in the people who respect your space, and keep out anything that doesn't belong. That's exactly what boundaries do. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well being so that you can focus on what matters. Boundaries can take many forms. Physical boundaries are about your personal space and physical needs like rest and alone time. Emotional boundaries are about protecting your feelings and deciding how much emotional energy you give to others. Time boundaries are about ensuring your time is spent on what aligns with your values, what's important to you. Mental boundaries are about protecting your thoughts, beliefs, and headspace. And social boundaries are about deciding how you engage with friends, family, and coworkers. When you set boundaries, you're not being rude or selfish. You're simply creating a life that honors your needs, your values, and your peace. Now, let's get real about why boundaries are so hard to set. For many of us, the struggle comes from a mix of fear, guilt, and social conditioning. We've been taught that being a good person means always being available, always saying yes, and putting others first, even at the expense of our own well being. But here's the truth, we've all heard it. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you neglect your needs, you're not helping anyone, not yourself, not your loved ones, and certainly not the people who depend on you. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you're at work and a coworker constantly dumps their responsibilities on you because they know you'll say yes. At first, you might feel helpful, even valued, but over time, that extra work starts to wear you down. You're staying late, missing out on time with friends and loved ones, and probably feeling resentful. Does that sound familiar? This is what happens when we don't set boundaries. We end up overcommitted, stressed, and frustrated. Not because we're bad at managing our time, but because we're afraid to say no. Let's flip the script and talk about what happens when you do set boundaries. Number one, you protect your energy. When you're not constantly saying yes out of obligation, you'll suddenly have more time and energy for things you care about and enjoy. Number two, you'll reduce the chances of feeling resentful. Boundaries help us to avoid that bitterness that can come when we overextend ourselves. Instead of feeling used and unappreciated, setting boundaries allows us to feel empowered and in control. Number three, your relationships will probably improve. It might surprise you, But setting boundaries can actually make your relationship stronger. When you're clear about your needs, it creates mutual respect and understanding. Also, you cultivate peace. Imagine a life where you're no longer rushing, stressing, or overcommitting. Boundaries create space for you to slow down, breathe, and truly enjoy your life. You build confidence. Every time you set and stick to a boundary, you're affirming yourself that you matter, that your needs are important, and that alone is powerful. Okay, so how do you figure out where to set boundaries? It starts with paying attention with how you feel. Think about a time when you felt overwhelmed or taken advantage of. Maybe it was when you were asked to volunteer for yet another event, even though you were already juggling work, family, and who knows whatever else. That feeling of exhaustion or frustration. That's your inner voice telling you a boundary is needed here. Another way to identify your boundaries is to look at your values. What most what is most important to you? Maybe it's family time, self-care, or pursuing your goals. Your boundaries should protect these priorities. Now that you've identified your boundaries, how do you communicate them without feeling awkward or guilty? The key is to be clear and kind. You don't need to over explain or apologize. Just state your boundary in a calm and respectful way. For example, let's say that your friend keeps inviting you to late night outings, but you've decided to prioritize rest. You could say something like, I love spending time with you, but I need my evenings to unwind. Let's plan something earlier in the day next time. This way, you're honoring your needs while still showing care for the other person. Here's the thing, not everyone will love your boundaries, especially if they're used to you always saying yes. You might hear things like, you've changed, or why are you being so difficult? And while that can be hard to hear, remember this: people who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries, even if it takes them some time to adjust. When someone pushes back, stay calm and repeat your boundary if needed. You don't need to engage in a debate or justify your choices. For example, if someone questions why you're not volunteering for an event this year, you can simply say, I'm focusing on other priorities right now, but I hope it all goes well. It's short, it's sweet, it keeps the focus on your needs without creating unnecessary conflict. Here's the bottom line: boundaries are an act of self love. Every time you set a boundary, you're telling yourself that you deserve peace, you deserve rest, you deserve to live a life that feels good to you. And the beautiful thing is, when you take care of yourself, you're better able to take care of others. You show up as the best version of yourself, calm, present, and fulfilled. So, if setting boundaries feels hard at first, remember this: you're not being mean, you're not being selfish, you're simply choosing to honor your needs, and that is always the right choice. I hope this time together has given you the encouragement and clarity to start setting boundaries in your life. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress and honoring yourself along the way. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to invite you to take things further with my guided journal, Honoring My Peace. It's designed to help you dive deeper into protecting your energy, setting boundaries, and creating a life that feels balanced and fulfilling. This isn't just any journal, it's a tool to help you stay intentional about your peace. With thoughtful prompts and action steps and space to reflect, it's like having a supportive guide right there with you, helping you make these changes day by day. If that sounds like what you need, you can find the journal through the link in the description. Before you go, if you found value in this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know this kind of content is helpful for you. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss any new videos to support your journey toward peace, balance, and self-care. Let me ask, what's one boundary you're ready to set? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and cheer you on. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, you deserve peace.